particularly in Cebu City. If you look at the curves for Luzon outside NCR and Mindanao, they're actually at very, very low levels, no? Hardly contributing to the outbreak. No? So what we have now is an outbreak that has equal number of cases, new cases, no, coming from NCR and Visayas, no. So although NCR is still the epicenter, no, Visayas is becoming a hotspot. Next slide, please. Next slide. Next slide, please. Okay, so this epidemic curves shows you the cases in NCR compared to other regions. No? So I just want to call your attention to the latter part of the curve that shows the small outbreaks, no, in close settings, no, in Cebu and in Cebu, no, 2 in Cebu City and 1 in Mandaue City. So this is the reason for the recent uptick in cases. Next slide. So this is a set of 4 doubling time curves that shows you the story of the outbreak. No? If we start with, in the right upper corner with NCR, the level of the outbreak is almost equal to the national level, no, at 10,000. But if you look at the curves for Luzon and Mindanao, they're much smaller. No? For Luzon, the level of the outbreak is about 1,000, and for Mindanao, it's at about 100. No? So much smaller outbreaks. No? But if you go back to the curve in Luzon, for both curves, no, for the number of cases and mortality, we also see that after it started to take effect, no, the curve started to bend. No? So they're now almost parallel to the 30-day doubling time line. No? Whereas when they started, they were near the 3-day line. No? For Luzon, no, they started curving much earlier. Both are almost flat now. For Mindanao, same thing. No? For the mortality doubling time of Mindanao, no, it's actually exceeded the 7-day line. No? So the recent hotspot now is in Visayas. No? So although it slowed down early and was parallel to the 7-day line, it remained parallel until now. No? It hasn't exceeded the 7-day line. No? So this is an area we have to watch out closely. Next slide, please.
Doc, Dr. Wong, excuse me, I'm sorry. Can you please repeat the previous slide, Doc? Hindi daw nag-show sa screen kasi kanina. That one. Thank you.
Okay. So this is an epidemic curve broken down in terms of which cases are from NCR and which cases are from outside NCR. No? So I just wanted to call your attention to the right part of the graph, the latter part of the graph that shows the cluster of cases that contributed to the recent uptick of cases. No? So we have 2 clusters in Cebu City and 1 cluster in Mandaue City. Next slide. Next slide. Okay. So okay, aside from case doubling time, the other indicator we're using to classify the risk level of the provinces and cities is critical utilization. No, so as we know, the reason we apply ECQ, no, is to buy time for the health system. No? So this is the most recent data. This is the most recent data, which shows across all the regions what is the status of their utilization of critical care resources. No? So low utilization is better, meaning we have higher reserve capacity. So most of the regions are in the safe zone. We have about 4 or 5 regions that are in the warning zone, but none of them are in the danger zone. So again, because of the ECQ, we've been able to buy time for the health system as we continue to build health system capacity. Next slide. Okay, so using these two indicators, this is how we classify the different LGUs, provinces and cities. So we start looking at the size of the outbreak. If they have small outbreaks, outbreaks that do not exceed the thresholds listed there, we just use critical care utilization rate to classify them. Case doubling time will not be used anymore. So if they have low utilization, they're in low risk level. If they have high utilization, they're in the acceleration level or high risk level. However, if they have outbreak sizes which exceed the thresholds, then we start also applying the case doubling time as a criteria. Slow outbreaks, outbreaks that double more than 30 days are low risk, except if they already have high utilization rate. Whereas fast outbreaks are always classified as in the acceleration phase or high risk. Next slide. I think that was my last slide. Thank you, Yusek.
Maraming salamat, Yusek Vergere and Dr. John Wong. Uulitin ko po, ang Metropolitan Manila, NCR, probinsya ng Laguna at ang syudad ng Cebu ay mapapasailalim sa Modified MCQ. Ibig sabihin, ECQ pa rin po, bagamat may kaunting mga industriya na hahayaang magbukas at magkakaroon po tayo ng pinanalistahan ng mga industriya bukas hanggang 50% ng workforce at meron din pong limited na transportation services na maaalaw. Pero meron pa rin pong mga lugar dito sa Modified ECQ na mananatili sa ECQ. Ito po ay mga barangay o mga zona ng mga barangay kung saan mananatili po ang ECQ. Kasama na rin po yung mga areas na nakapaligid dito sa mga critical zones nito na ang tinatawag natin ay containment zones. Kung ano itong mga areas nito, hahayaan po natin yan sa mga lokal na pamahalaan in coordination with the regional IATF. Sige, mga tanong na po tayo. Maricel Halili.
Hi sir, magandang hapon po. Sir, ilang paglilinaw lang. Nabanggit niyo po kanina na nagdesisyon na si Presidente doon po sa social amelioration program na nakafocus na siya doon sa mga ECQ areas. Pero ano po yung plano natin doon sa mga manggagawa na nasa GCQ area pero hindi pa rin po pwedeng magtrabaho kagaya po ng mga nagtatrabaho sa mga gym at saka po mga luxury stores?
Well, sa ngayon po, wala pa pong rekomendasyon ng IATF dyan, pero I'm sure bigyan po yan ng rekomendasyon. Sa ngayon po, ang ating inuubos muna ay yung sa first tranche at meron na po tayong 92.30 na nabigyan na nung first tranche. Pangalawa po, bibigyan pa natin na ayuda yung natitirang 5 milyones na sabi ni Presidente dapat mabigyan dahil hindi napasama doon sa unang listahan ng 18 million. At saka siyempre po, yung ayuda na ibibigay natin doon sa mga areas na nanatili sa ECQ. Hayaan niyo muna nating tapusin po ito at puntahan natin yung mga ayuda kung meron man doon sa mga GCQ areas na hindi nakapagtrabaho po.
Sir, paano naman po dun sa mga areas na hindi na under quarantine? I understand na banggit po kanina ni Yusek Vergere na meron pa rin pong susundin na minimum health standard. Pero in terms of the industry and activities, ano po yung magiging limitasyon nila? For example, kung 100% na papayagan na magbukas yung mga businesses doon sa areas na yon, pati po ba yung mga religious activities, for example, will they be allowed to conduct such things?
Ang mga religious activities po, lilinawin pa yan ng IATF, pero masasabi lang po natin, miski wala po kayo sa community quarantine, kinakailangan po mag-ingat, mag-social distancing, mag-good hygiene, dahil isang tao lang po ang pumasok sa inyong probinsya na meron pong COVID-19, napakabilis pong pwedeng kumalat yan. So, ingat pa rin po at sinusunod po natin ang sinasabi ng World Health Organization, hinay-hinay, dahan-dahan, unti-unti.
Panghuli na lang po kay Yusek Vergere. Ma'am, after po I understand nagkaroon po tayo ng pag-ease ng mga restrictions dun sa ibang mga areas. Does it just to summarize po the presentation, does it mean that the transmission is now under control? And what are the chances po of second wave?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you for that question. So, hindi po natin sinasabi that we have already controlled, no? Kaya nga po, tayo ay magpapatupad ng ating mga minimum health standards na sinasabi. Although an area might be identified or classified as low risk, they still need to implement the minimum health standards that we will be providing na nandyan po sa ating mga protocol. Yun pong posibilidad ng second wave, ito po ay isang bagay na gusto nating maiwasan at pinaghahandaan natin. Kaya nga po ganito po tayo mag-classify ng ating mga lugar at ganito po natin ipinatutupad ang shifting or transitioning from a GCQ to a low-risk area, to a moderate, to low-risk. Hindi po natin binibigla iyan. And ang lagi nga nating sinasabi, kahit na nagpapakita na po ng indikasyon na maganda, no, because case doubling time is humahaba na po ang ganon ang ating mga case doubling time at critical care utilization sa ibang lugar ay makikita po natin na talagang nakakapaghanda at nakakaagapay. Hindi pa rin tayo pwedeng maging complacent. Kailangan pa rin tayong vigilant, kailangan pa rin gawin lahat ng minimum health standards so that we can prevent further infections.
Maraming salamat po.
Maricel, kung dadagdag ko lang, no, talagang ang solusyon lang dito sa COVID-19, bakuna at gamot. Habang walang bakuna, habang walang gamot, meron pa rin po tayong problema. Kahit anong classification ninyo, kinakailangan ilagay nyo po sa inyong mga isipan. Habang walang vaccine, habang walang gamot, meron pa rin banta.
Thank you, Secretary.
Next question, kay Yusek Rocky.
Secretary, from Eileen Taliping of Abante Tonight, marami pong barangay officials ang hindi sumusunod sa utos ng DILG na ipairal ang transparency sa mga pamamahagi ng SAP, lalo na sa mga malalayong probinsya. Hindi daw po nagpapaskel ng mga listahan kung sino-sino ang mga nabigyan ng tulong dahil ang ilan sa mga ito kamag-anak umano ng chairman o ni Kagawad. Maaasahan pa natin na sa mga susunod na araw may masasampulan na daw ang DILG dahil sa pagsuway sa inilabas na direktiba.
Well, sa katunayan, 183 cases na po ang iniimbestigahan ng ating DILG dahil ang talagang mensahe ng Pangulo, sa mulat-mula pa inaasahan niya na merong magkakana nitong ayuda na para sa mga pinakamahihirap sa atin. No? Kaya ang kanyang mensahe sa DILG, sa kapulisan, sa NBI, kinakailangan sampulan niya ang mga gumagawa ng kababalaghan dahil kinakailangan magsilbing halimbawa na hindi po pwedeng kanain ang pondo para sa pinakamahihirap. Si Joseph Morong.
Hi sir, good morning, good afternoon. I noticed Zoom tayo. Sir, huwag mo muna akong i-mute. I have several set of questions.
I'm sorry, we
Sir,
have to
first.
limit it. Just one question and follow up dahil napakadami pong mga questions. Sorry po.
Sige lang sir. Anyway, okay. Right now, we have, basis lang muna, no? Premise. We have non-GCQ, GCQ, modified ECQ, and within modified GCQ, the ECQ that we know. Apat na classification, yes?
Yes.
All right. I'm interested first dun sa GCQ, sir. Yung movement within ECQ because marami ng mga provinces and public transport. Pwede na po ba yung mga commercial flights between GCQ areas and GCQ, ECQ areas?
Until the 15th po, wala pang commercial flights but I'm sure the relevant transportation authorities will come up with their guidelines pagdating po ng May 16.
Okay, so land and sea travel, sir, wala pa tayo. I mean, yung air and sea travel coming up.
Wala pa po pero I'm sure magkakaroon na po ng guidelines para unti-unti po mabuksan na ang transportation sectors, lalo na yung biyahe between GCQ and GCQ.
Sir, interaction, GCQ, ECQ. A worker is working in a GCQ area, Batangas for example, or Cavite, nasa GCQ sila, pero he lives in an ECQ area, like Metro Manila or maybe Manila. Paano yun? Pwede siyang tumawid?
Well, meron na po tayong palantutunan dyan. Depende po sa industriya na pinagtatrabuhuhan niya. Kung ito po ay indispensable, papakita po ng employment certificate. Pero alam niyo naman po, quarantine po yan. Iniiwasan talaga natin yung pagpasok at paglabas ng mga tao. Pero kung kinakailangan po talaga sa pagtatrabaho, meron na po tayong rule na pag between ECQ and GCQ, basta po indispensable industry na hinayang magbukas, po pwede pong tumawid ang mga manggagawa, magdala lang po ng ID na papatunay na kung saan sila nagtatrabaho at ID magpapatunay kung saan sila nakatira.
Sir, one last question for you. Yung mga no quarantine measures, ibig sabihin balik na sila sa dati nilang buhay?
Hindi po, kasi hanggang walang vaccine, kinakailangan minimum health standards. Yung mga minimum health standards, social distancing, good hygiene, temperature control, temperature checks, at iba pa mga prescribe po ngayon ng DOH. Yusek Vergere, can we have you enumerate the minimum health standards, please?
Yes, sir. Ang minimum health standards po natin ay may 4 po na classification, no? Progressing into the higher levels of management. Ang unang-una po is we have to have this increased physical and mental resilience. So it starts with the individual, pinapalusog ang katawan, kailangan both physically and mentally. The second would be reducing transmission. Ito po yung ating mga personal protective measures like hand washing, cough etiquette. Nandiyan na rin po yung kapag meron na kayong sakit, huwag na kayong lalabas para makapanghawa pa sa iba. Nandiyan din po yung disinfecting our environment. That's part of reducing transmission. The third is reducing contact. Ito po yung physical distancing natin. Ito po yung limitations in the movement of people. Ito po yung ating mga architectural and engineering controls that we will implement, especially in public places or workplaces and establishments, para po nagkakaroon ng pagkakahiwa-hiwalay ang mga tao. And the last would be reducing the infectiousness or the duration of infection. Ito po yung strategy natin for isolation, that once you identify a person who is symptomatic, you need to already assess and then isolate the patient or do quarantine para po ma-prevent na ang lalo pang paglaganap ng infection.
Sir, kay Yusek Vergere, one question.
Go ahead.
Okay.
Last question.
Ma'am, good morning. Good afternoon. Ma'am, yung sa data po natin at 11,000 na infection, would you say na yun po yung mga number ng individuals, Filipinos, that have been infected by COVID? Is this the real data, real picture?
Well, sa ngayon, sir, that is what we are getting as a result of our testing. Pero ang sinasabi nga po natin, once that we still can expand testing because of our increasing capacity in our health system, we will be seeing more. Kaya nga ang sabi po natin sa mga tao, wag po tayong mababahala kasi for the next days or weeks, makikita po natin tataas pa rin ang kaso, lalong-lalo na po na tumataas na ang kapasidad natin para mag-test ng mga tao.
Ma'am, with the relaxation of some of the measures, no, hindi ba tayo worried dun sa interaction between an ECQ area and a GCQ area? Meaning, are we not worried about a second wave?
Well, our safeguard for this would be the implementation and enforcement of the minimum health standards that we have identified. If we can implement properly these minimum health standards, and then we will have that safeguard or assurance na yung ating paglaganap ng infection ay makokontrol or mape-prevent natin.
Okay, ma'am, thank you for your time. Secretary, thank you for your time.
Sino na? Oo, may clarification.
Secretary?
Oo.
Unahin ko
Yusek
na lang.
Vergere, you have clarification on the areas daw? Anyway, next questions please. Kay Rocky, Yusek Rocky.
A question from Vance Fernandez, Police Files DZRJ. Sinabi daw po ng Fitch Solutions Country Risk and Industry Research na tingin nila ang ekonomiya ng Pilipinas ay posible daw po magkaroon ng recession. Ano ang plano daw po ng pamahalaan?
Well, yan naman po inaasahan dahil nagsarado nga tayo ng 2 buwan, no? At ngayon may mga areas pa na mananatiling sarado, no? So ang gobyerno naman po ay merong plano. Unang-una po, bubuksan natin muli yung Build Big program natin at ito po yung tinatawag na fiscal strategy, paggamit po ng national budget para po mag-create ng economic activities, no? At pangalawa po, yung ating mga monetary policies sinisiguro po ng ating Bangko Sentral na sapat po ang salapi na umiikot, binababa po natin ang interest rates at saka yung mga liquidity requirements ng mga bangko po ay ini-ease up natin yung mga deposit requirement ng mas marami pong pera na umikot sa ating ekonomiya. Inaasahan po natin yan pero ang strategiya po ng ating NEDA at ng Department of Finance, magkakaroon tayo ng tinatawag na V-shape. Bababa po talaga ating ekonomiya pero tayo po ay tataas naman at inaasahan natin na mabilis ang ating pag-recover matapos po itong mga quarantines. Yusek Vergere, may clarification po sa mga areas.
Yes, Sec. I'm sorry. Can we have the question? What would be they want to clarify?
Oo. Yung clarification daw ho on the high-risk areas.
Yes, sir. Ito pong high-risk areas na na-identify at nandyan po sa ating mga datos ngayon. Ito pong Cebu City, ang Laguna, at saka po yung ating mga cities and municipality here in the National Capital Region. Ito po lahat